how I learned English language, what was my journey, and how I assisted myself in this journey. What was the process, what was the exact procedure, because at that time I didn't have the mobile phone at my disposal, and I think I received mobile phone after masters in English. And after receiving mobile phone, I certainly certainly got benefit from many YouTube channels, which I will discuss in the later video. So the very first resources which I utilized, and the process and the method which I utilized, I am going to discuss in detail, because today, as I was searching through my cupboard of books, it was my library type books, and I suddenly found some of the books which I utilized initially. As I was just roaming, or I was just unfolding my books, and I was searching, and I was just imagined myself in the past. What was the process? What was the very first book which I utilized? Was very tiny small book of small pages, but believe me, this book gave me the tremendous boost. It gave me the simple sentence structure, the formulation of sentences, and exactly the present, the past, and the simple future tense I utilized, and I learned from that book, and essential vocabulary, verb forms from that book. And it was so authentic. I am going to demonstrate that very first book, the very first book of my journey, and after that I will show you some other books and the method which I utilized for the first time, which can be helpful for you. So the very first book which I have utilized was in a shabby condition. Now you can see this was my first book. This was my first book, and this book is Moinul Tarjuma. This book is Moinul Tarjuma. You can see the condition of this book, because years long, and approximately 13 years have been passed, and this was my first book, and I will show you how it assisted me. As you can see, there are some necessary and useful verb forms. I learned those verb forms very easily, and these are very useful day-to-day word forms. After that, there are some tenses. You can see the different kind of dirt is there, because it was my first book. This is present indefinite tense, and the most beneficial thing is that the structure through which I learned the whole tenses. After that, I practiced a lot, and after practicing, and the very first step was translation. First of all, I learned some of the verb forms. After that, I kept on translating all the exercises. These gave me a boost to formulate and structure different kind of sentences. After that, I will show you another thing which is very important, and my favorite collection of book, and it was the book of second year, a selection of modern English essays. This was my favorite book, and as you know that this book, very important and very beautiful essay, was Whistling of Birds. As you can see, I was in the habit of narrating. Most important point is I was in the habit of narrating all my thoughts in the form of words, in my own words. For example, as I have written in this book, winter is a season of death. So no one can control his natural impulse. Darkness cannot continue forever. This was my own words. Darkness cannot be continued forever. It has come to an end. Whistling of the bird. And this is so important, and you can see I have written down the meanings of so many words. So this is very much important if you want to fulfill your mind with so many in new English words. The first step is to translate And the next step is to just fulfill your vocabulary bank with some vocabulary words. So this is the most important thing which I done a lot. The thing which is not in control of a man is natural instinct. Man cannot live only in one condition. I have written man cannot live, and it is true. And I have written it in my educational period that man cannot control or man cannot live in one condition. Why should we come back to life and death, spring and winter? Spring and winter are two phenomena of nature. Nothing is permanent. Everything in this world has to change. Change is the only diversity of human nature. Now next, the plunge. Take the plunge. Now I have written down the words meaning. This is very important thing. If you want to learn something new, you just have to go through the same process. This process is very important because in order to add new words, new vocabulary into your life, this process is important. You have to do the same thing. So my tailor, next is my tailor. It is blended. Now you can see I have written down the words and then the meanings in Urdu. Next, the beauty industry. Beauty industry, I have written down I think the theme. Spiritual beauty is more important than physical beauty, and this is very important thing. You are watching how I have decoded my book, and this is the testament that how I was keenly observing and how I was obsessed with learning English language. Another thing, the grammar book, the very important grammar book which I utilized a lot in my academic career, and it was the session of BA, and the book was around 2004, I think. And speciality, because I knew that there are many grammar channels and there are many channels who are teaching us grammar, but if you can access to a grammar book, the best opportunity and the best thing about grammar is that there are many exercises like these and you can solve them by yourself, and by solving these exercises you are highly recommended. And after that there are some important uses, and in this way you can make your vision broad by adding all these things in your life. And after that there are so many idioms. I kept on reading and learning the idioms. This is another part. After that there are phrasal verbs. After phrasal verbs there are so many Urdu passages, and I was in the habit of translating all the passages, because at initial stage this is important in order to get used to learn English language. This is my grammar book, because any grammar book which is at your disposal, it's your duty to utilize that book. And after that I found my one register recently which I have compiled was speeches. National heroes must be followed. This was the speech written by me, respected teachers and honorable principal. Today the topic of my debate is heroes must be followed, as national heroes are admired due to their courage, outstanding achievements and noble qualities who have made significant positive contributions to growth and development of society. So I have written down the speech at this page, and after speech what I have, my last day at school I have written. And after that there are so many things which I have written on this, and you can see I have utilized the marker also. I have utilized markers, the summaries. I have written down the summaries of different things. I have written down in my own words. I have quoted some quotations. So you can see that the learning English language is just learning English language. So this is the one part of how I prepared and what was my journey, because these are the real assets, these are the real free resources, and this is the exact process, exact method you have to follow in order to be equipped with English language, because English language can be easily learned if you follow all these tips and tricks. Because YouTube channels are there, but they can only polish your skills. The first step, the very first step, the essential and the basic step, you have to take by yourself. If you like this effort, please like, share and subscribe this channel and hit that bell icon, because it motivates me a lot to do much more effort for you. And I will search some other assets of me in the form of registers, in the form of books or grammar books which I have utilized during my academic career, so that they can be a helpful booster for you, because they are not only providing you the information, the process, the methodology, they are also guiding you, they are also motivating you that this process can be followed, and it has been actually followed by a human being. So this is my message, this is my motivation, and I want to have a positive impact in your lives. So with this positive note, I end this video. Till the next video, stay happy, stay blessed. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.